over here. We walked in. Had a great time. I got a picture with Wreck-It Ralph.
Woo! You did.
A lot nicer in person. Yes, I did. Because you go up to him, you think he's sitting up there, and he's like, "Arr," and you think he's really solid. And you go up and I put my hands on him, and he went, "Ooh." Do that. So, but we went there. We played Fix It Felix. And now the problem with my game was I beat the stage, but it wouldn't go to the next one. Like I fixed all the windows, and I got an A+ for being a handyman. And then I tried to jump up, and Ralph is still wrecking it, but he's not destroying the windows. And at that point, I discovered, this is their way of telling me I reached the glitch because it wouldn't go to the next level. So because all the games there, like once you get like the flat fee taken care of, everything's like. You just go to a game and you start playing. It's like when I was a little kid, I had dreams about that. Play all day. And so I left the system. I just left it. I was playing, I was like... and I did that like several times. So I played like Dig Dug and Marble Madness, and Spy Hunter, and Burger Time, and all these. We did the pirate ship. How many people have seen the pirate ship at Disney Quest? Okay. Yeah. You know how you shoot the cannon?
Yeah.
I was sitting there and I'd never seen this before, and I'm just waiting my turn. I look over and so the pirate ship is like you go in and it's a ship and it's like 270-degree screen. You put your glasses on and you have to destroy and pillage other ships.
Yes.
There's a lot of good life lessons in this. The cannons, you shoot the cannons, you have the cannon, and there's a string that goes about this far, and you have to pull the string to shoot the cannon. So the faster you pull it, the more cannonballs you shoot. So I'm sitting there waiting my turn, and I look over and I see a dad who is getting a world record for shooting cannonballs very quickly. It was too dark, I couldn't get a picture of it, but I wanted to. And then we went to the carpet, magic carpet. Magic carpet. Jafar at the end of it, spoiler alert, he double crosses you. You have to find the half of the dung beetle, and then he has the other half. It's the only game I know of where your objective is to find a dung beetle. So Jafar takes it, you go to the Cave of Wonder. It looks really cool because you put the little helmet on, the VR helmet, and you're looking around, and when I look left, the thing looks left, and right, stuff like that. And it was a lot of fun. There's Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And I used to be like this really awesome Guitar Hero player in my home. And so, and I could do hard. Hard, for those of you that haven't played Guitar Hero in a long time, is where it involves that little orange button that's like way over here, the pinky button. And I was doing well on medium. I'm like, okay, I'm rocking out. Hit me with your best shot. Yeah, I'm doing it. And I'm like, I got a little cocky. And I was like, maybe I can do it on hard. I put it on hard, but everything else was really, it was fun. It was quite an experience. And I haven't been over to like Disney and since I was like 15, so it's been like 5 years, so I haven't been over there. And then tomorrow is World of Harry Potter.
Woo!
I'm gonna go get my own wand.
Yeah.
I'm gonna name the wand Matsuri. But it should be a lot of fun. It should be good. I wish I could stay Monday because Monday everybody's going to the Magic Kingdom, and I can't do that. I've got to work and be on set and all that stuff, so I cannot go. But it should be hey, work is great. I'm happy to have it. People are on Facebook like, you need a vacation. Like, no, vacations are bad in this business.
Yes.
Bad. If you're on vacation, if someone says, hey, what are you up to? You're like, relaxing. That's not good.
Yes.
So, in my line of work, I get to do a variety of things. So, like my mom, she was a doctor. She's retired, and I'm really upset because he's high 50s. I don't know what the age is for that. He's up there. And my mom is she's like 51 or 2 or something. She's just retired. She's done with work. And so, but she was this doctor. So every day she goes to the office. She gets there at 9 a.m. She finishes at 5, and it's the same thing every single day. And she does that. Fast forward 30 years or whatever. bam, and she's this entire document. So good for her. But in my line of work, I don't know what's going to happen. So one week I could be doing a play on Monday, Tuesday recording a video game, Wednesday recording on a cartoon, Thursday on camera, Friday walking on stilts, Saturday recording an audio and then Sunday licking my wounds. I don't know what those days hold for me. And so it's kind of exciting, but then at the same time, it's a little, you don't know what's going to happen. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure book every day. So for those of you that remember those books, those were fun to read. So I guess a lot of you want to be in the industry somehow. Is that true, some of you? I have no advice for you. Because the journey is different for everybody. Everyone's path is different for how they get into voiceover. But I will tell you something that is going to make me sound like one of these, but it's very good advice. Is because when I finished high school and I was at the crossroads, and I was like, okay, I could go to college or I could go straight to LA. And man, I really wanted to go straight to LA. That's why I thought I knew everything. I was like, man, I can beat, Mario Brothers, I can beat him 10 times over in a day. I'm smart. And so I went up to my mom and I go, Mom, go to college. And she goes, son, why don't you want to go to school? She's Vietnamese. And I said, well, I want to go to LA and I want to make it. She goes, no, son, if you do that, you're on your own, son. It's up to you. And I'm like, wait, what? You're done with me? She goes, yes, get out. And she can say that because I'm an only child. So she means it. And because it was one time I said, well, why didn't you have any more kids? She goes, I learned my lesson after you, son.
Oh my God.
So she goes, well, good luck. But she says, if you choose to go to college, I'll pay you away. She goes, I'll take care of it. Wherever you want to go.
Oh my God,
and
really?
So I was like, okay, well, let me think about this. Do I want to study for the next 4 years, or do I want to go, try to test my might in LA with no net or anything? And so I thought about it, and luckily I decided college is the way to go. And here's the reason I say this. How many people are in college right now, or thinking about it? Okay. How many people are undecided? You don't know if you're going to go. That's fair. That's cool.
Oh, not me.
College isn't for everybody. There are some people that can't handle that structure. Even though you've been having that structure for 12 years, since kindergarten up to 12th grade, you should be used to it by now. Can't do it. But I will say this. College is becoming the new high school diploma. Okay? So, you got to look at it this way. I know someone that didn't go to college, and they did very well for themselves. Maybe this opportunity came up where they could get promoted to a top position. Well, they didn't have a college degree. So even though they were very qualified for it, they didn't get the job because they didn't have a college degree. It's kind of like saying, I don't know what you could equate it to, but it's like, there's so many things you can get from going to college that you can't get anywhere else. For instance, how many other places can you have police officers shut down your party? And it's okay. College is where that happens. You can do a lot of stuff in college that you can't get away with in real life. You can, I looked at my buddies and I said, hey, I don't want to go to physics class today. Do you? And all it took was for one other roommate to go, no. And then we played video games all day. You can't do that. But no, seriously, there's a lot of stuff that you can learn by going to college. Not just the stuff that you study in class. See, I wish I had taken more advantage of the things and the resources available, because the thing about it is, you study in high school and things like that, but you don't realize it until it's gone. Until it's done how much you should have been studying. Because then it's free.
Yes.
High school is free. College, you're paying for it.
Yeah, I know. What the heck
the
is
same
wrong?
things you did in high school that you do in college. You have to study. Because all the time, people come up to me and they go, I want to be a voice actor. I want to do this. I want to do this. Well, do you know how to do that? Well, I've been talking all my life. That's like me saying, well, I've been around the Japanese language and anime for 6 years. I can speak it fluently. I can't speak Japanese. So that's the thing. When you go to college, you're paying for it. My college was $150,000.
Oh my God.
And I still wasted time. That's not good. Because there's so much you learn in college. You can fail in college, and it's okay. You're supposed to fail, because that's what you're going to learn. You fail in life, you may not get a second chance. I've done some gigs where I failed on those gigs. I didn't get a second chance. That was it. In college, you get many chances because they want you to fail so that you can learn. They can teach you where you made your mistakes.
Get your money.
So what you do? What's that?
And get your money.
Oh, yeah, and they get your money. But what happens in exchange to that is you get equipped and you get the skills you need to tackle whatever you want to do in life. Because college is like a little life simulation. It's like, where do you want to go today? Well, I want to go study zoology. Maybe I want to go mess around with animals. Let's see what that's like. Well, you don't like that? Boom, you could switch to maybe I want to be a crochet master. So I decided to do theater. And so you go to all these classes, and it's hard work. I know it's hard to study, and I know it's hard to do these tests, and you want to hang out with your friends, and you want to do all that stuff. Let me tell you, the stuff that you do in college is going to follow you for the rest of your life. Because especially in being in the entertainment industry, it is a lifestyle. It's not a job you go to from 9 to 5. You learn how to interact with people in college. You build friendships that are going to last you forever, a lifetime in college. When I moved to LA, the couches I crashed on while I was looking for an apartment were my buddies from college. Because I still remember, I hadn't talked to them for years. But there's a bond there. It's like going to war. You're going to
It's like
bond with these people. And I called them up and said, hey, can I inconvenience you for a week and stay on your couch? Sure.
Oh my.
Here's a key. Here's a key to my place. Boom. And I was there. It was awesome. But you develop these relationships in college. You fail. That's where you get all your mistakes out. Because if you make your mistakes out in the field at an audition, you don't get called back. And that's it. That's it. You get one shot. I was on the Warner Brothers lot auditioning for some cartoon, and it was when I first moved to LA, and I was 15 minutes late to the audition because traffic is it's a beast. Sometimes it can take 15 minutes to travel 3 miles. Sometimes it takes an hour. Wow. When I was driving to Bang Zoom like a week ago. The Bang Zoom is 9 miles. It's 8.9 miles away. It took me 2 hours to get there. You never know. But I was 15 minutes late because I didn't know the traffic yet. And that was my one mistake. Never got to make it again. That's it. You get one shot because Warner Brothers is so powerful, they don't need to waste time with people that make mistakes. They can find the person that gets it right the first time, and that's it. In college, you're allowed to make those mistakes. And people will hone your skills with you and for you because they want to see the best out of you. The people that audition you for people that want to be voice actors, the people that audition you, their concern is not to make you better. They want to find the person for their projects. And they don't care if you have to learn. They're not going to teach it to you. But in college, where you're paying for it, that's where they're going to teach you things. So there's so many cool things. And also, guys, the meal plan, come on. You can eat whatever you want. I went to the cafeteria and I was like a zombie from The Walking Dead. I could not be killed. I could not be stopped. And I ate everything. I got on a really bad potato bread kick. Don't do that. That's where you gain the pounds. And I was a little bit of a chunky monkey when I first got there. Oh, gosh. But, so, college is awesome. College is great. How many people are they're like, I don't know, I'm still not quite sold on this place you tell me about. Where it's going to make lots of friends and learn things. I don't know. So, but that doesn't just go for the entertainment industry. That's anything. That's anything that you want to do. That's the thing. You see these guys that are really awesome guitarists, and they do these amazing solos. The first thing they learned wasn't how to make horrible decisions in life and do drugs. That came after the success. The first thing they learned how to do were their scales, because you have to have the knowledge in order to be able to mess it up. Really, essentially. I mean, you have to have all the knowledge of the chords and hammer-ons and pull-offs and all that kind of stuff so that you can go and create your own recipe. It's like this. Like me. Man, I know everything there is to know about an egg. I can scramble it. I can sunny side up it. I can destroy it. I can but that's only because I know how to cook an egg. If I didn't know how to cook an egg, I wouldn't know what I was doing. I'd be sick, and I'd have salmonella, and I'd have baby spores shooting out of them. Setting cooking properly. So you have to know this stuff. It's like video games. How do you get really good at Call of Duty? You practice. You don't just show up at the game and be like, okay, I'm put a controller in my hand, we are winning this. You're not winning it. This is opposite day, you mean you're losing. So you gotta learn that stuff first. That's like voice acting. I didn't just show up and say, oh, like I said, I know how to talk, I can do this. No, I've been in the entertainment industry a long time. I started out in theater. And I did theater when I was 10, and I did musicals and things like that. And I've played everything from knights to wizards to cops to ghosts to, the love interest, the villain, all that kind of stuff. And that's what kind of blows me away about some of these commercial auditions is that I've done Shakespeare, and I've directed Shakespeare, and I've done Chekhov, but you just couldn't take a bite out of that sandwich the way we wanted. Like, you know what I mean? What? I did William Shakespeare, but he's not quite right with that sweater on. I don't know. I don't get that. I don't know. This is a kooky, crazy business. Sometimes you're not the right person for the audition because you look like the person's ex-wife or ex-husband, or they have a tummy ache from lunch and they're not feeling good. And so everyone they see from that point on, they don't like. This business is so crazy, nuts. It isn't. You could look at somebody wrong as you're passing them in the hallway, and they're a casting director. I even know that happened in college. There was a guy, really awesome actor, was walking out of the restroom and walking past a dude in the hallway. And the dude was like, hello, Mike. And he goes, hey. For some reason, he took that hey as like a slight against him. He didn't cast him. He was a casting director. He went back to the meeting and goes, that guy's kind of a jerk. We're not going to use him. What? He just decided his entire career for that job because he didn't say hello to you in the hallway? This is crazy and ridiculous. So this is a funky business, because I didn't get there by just showing up and thinking I knew everything. I thought I knew everything in college, and I got the smackdown on my money. That was not the case. I got called into the office and they said, college may not be for you. And I said, well, why is that? And they go, you think you know everything. You don't listen to us. And at the time, I was like, oh, well, I know more than you guys. I know more than you guys that have been internationally renowned and performing on stages and this and that. I was hopped up on potato bread. So I learned my lesson. But I started out doing theater, film, and then playing guitar in clubs and all this kind of stuff. It was crazy. I think we're cool. The boat is sailed.
All right.
I think we're good.
Well, I'm hearing you out.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. It'll be a show.
Yeah. Down there? Down there.
All right. It's like a big sail. Like a big Lincoln sail.
Yeah.
But anyway, so yes, that's the good news about the industry, is that you can do it if you learn and get your experience and all that good stuff. So do that. That's my message about that stuff. And then you get to do things like have Chris Sabat as your boss. You can see how cool is that? Vegeta was telling me what to do. He was telling me what to do when I was directing Shuffle and Claymore and all that kind of stuff. And so it's you get to hang out with these guys. And when I was at Comic-Con, I did with Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah.
I saw him in the distance, and people are like, do you ever get nervous when you meet people? And we really don't. I mean, we see, in LA, you see celebrities all the time. You guys know what Whole Foods is?
Yeah.
So there's a Whole Foods right literally right next to, I live by the Grove, if anyone's familiar with that, where they film extra every day. That's the Grove. And so I live like 2 blocks in there. And so I go to Whole Foods a lot, and there's celebrities in there all the time. When I eat at the Grove, the farmer's market, I'm like, oh, there's Gordon Ramsay. He's eating there. And the waiter's like, hi. But when I saw Jedi, and he's the Joker. He's the Joker Jedi. And so I'm standing there, and I'm waiting. So what happens is you come out, and signing is different at Comic-Con and big pop culture events. You don't sign for like an hour. You sign for like chunks of time, like hours. But you take breaks every now and then. So you step behind a little, like Wizard of Oz curtain, and like the row of tables is here, and you step behind the curtain, and like we're all back here. So it's like there's Patrick Stewart, there's William Shatner, there's Tom Felton, there's all these guys. And Tom Malfoy like lives in my complex. He's like, oh hi, man, how you doing? I'm like, oh hey, I'm Todd. He goes, Tom, how are you? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just kind of hanging out here with you, and signing. And he goes, you live in LA? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh, I'm moving there. Where do you live? And I go, oh, Park La Brea. He goes, oh, that's where I want to live. And I go, oh, well, we'll do laundry together. High five. And so we're really good. I mean, I know he wears clothes. He's got to wash them. But so Mark Hamill is standing over here. And before I got to Mark Hamill, C-3PO and R2 came up, and like the 3PO was like, oh, yeah. He's talking and like engaging with me and stuff, and R2 is like chatting with me. It's really cool. And then so I'm like, thanks guys. And so I go to Mark Hamill, and I said, hi, I know you through Troy Baker. So Troy Baker is he was Two-Face in Arkham City. He's Excalibur and Soul Eater.
Yes. Yeah.
He's the guy. He's the lead guy in The Last of Us. That game coming out.
Yep.
Trinity Blood. And he's in Trinity Blood. That's right. And so he was talking. When I talked with Troy when we did a con, he was like, "Oh man, Mark Hamill and I, we are tight. We are buddy. We hung out." And so I was like, "Oh, Mark, I know you through Troy." And Mark Hamill's response was, who? Oh. Great. Haberkon fumbles the ball. I was like, Troy Baker, he's Two-Face in the game. He's like, no, I don't remember that. And I was like, and so I was like, okay, cool. He'll probably forget about me. You know, what happens is when you're like Mark Hamill, things like that, I mean, we meet like 100,000, 150,000 people a year. I mean, we meet a lot of people. And so I'm like, he'll forget about me. Just give it an hour. He's like a puppet. He's like, he'll forget. He messed on the carpet, he won't remember that. And so then he's outside, and I had my handler, we have liaisons and do security and stuff to take you around. And I said, I want to hang out with Mark Hamill. And she goes, I'll see what I can do. My little pepper pots. And so she comes up to me and she says, he's outside smoking a cigarette right now. Do you want to go? And I'm like, yes. And so we go outside and he's all alone. He's by himself. He doesn't have his handlers. Nobody's out there. He's just, he's smoking a cigarette. And so I tested my theory and I was like, okay. And I went over there and he didn't remember me. Hey, Mark Hamill, my name's Todd. Hi. Can I get a picture? And so I got a picture with him because, again, normally if I knew he was going to remember me, I wouldn't ask for a picture. I'm just going to forget about me. And so I asked for a picture, and then we're leaving, and I'm just hanging there, and I'm just watching him do his thing. He's like eating a donut. He's like wearing all black, and it's getting all over him. I'm like, oh, this is... hanging out, and then someone comes to the door, and they've got a lightsaber for a cane.
Whoa. And
they're walking towards Mark. And Mark stands up and they hug and they embrace. And it was Peter Mayhew. Chew. And they hadn't seen each other in a long time. So I'm like, let me just watch this for a second. And she's like, what do you want to go say hi to him? I go, I just want to watch. And let them do their thing. It's kind of cool. It's like, they were watching them. And so I hang and then I just fade into the background, and then I don't reappear until it's 3 in the morning and Mark Hamill's about to take a shower and I'm in there. It was cool to meet him. And then when I did Australia, we went to a con where, so it's all the Star Trek crews, so it's like the Picard and, Data, and they're all there. And we're hanging out in the green room. And so we're sitting there. Oh, and for those of you that like Deep Space Nine, like Nog, and what was the other Ferengi, the one that owned the bar? Mark. Yeah, he's there. We're all there. We're all talking, and Patrick's. He's a really nice guy. So there's a table of like all this stuff to eat and drink and things like that. And sushi and sandwiches and drinks and coffee. Yeah, there's coffee and there's water. Wow. So there's a coffee, water, tea. That's it's very nice. It's very nice. And so Patrick. So we're all sitting at this table over here, and Patrick is. It's not very loud in this room. It's pretty quiet. I was kind of talking, and then all of a sudden, out of the background, you hear, "What is this?" "There's only coffee and tea to drink." And I'm like, "What?" I thought he was joking. He goes, "What is this? No Fanta, Diet Coke?" It's ridiculous. And he walks out, and that was my first encounter with him. Like, oh, he really likes Fanta. But now later, he's such a nice man. He's done so. I mean, it's Patrick Stewart, Sir Patrick Stewart. He's done so much with his career. It's really cool hanging out with him. You get to hang out with really awesome people when you go to these events. And one thing that we did was we went to this special area because we didn't have time to go see the animals of Australia, and I wanted to go to like the zoo and things like that. We didn't have time, so they brought the animals to us. We were in a special room that's about this, like a wall here, like this room, and they brought all these animals in, and they have like this 15-foot snake. And I'm like, oh, can I pet it? Like, we can hold it. Here, turn around. And he puts the snake on me, and the snake's like slithering.
Oh my God!
And the guy's like, no, the snake likes you because he's like it senses when you're nervous. And he goes, but you're really calm, so it's like, it's cool with you, it's hanging out. And he's like wrapping himself. He's hanging out, and I look over, and his little head is like resting right there. And he just kind of hangs, like for 15 minutes. I'm like, I want to play with the other animals too. He takes a snake, and then the koala comes out, and you can't hold the koala because they have like floating ribs. Like,
Right.
Okay, so you can crush them by just like picking them up, you'll break your ribs. So they have to hold them and you can pet them. And the little koala is like, she gets so sleepy because I pet her and she's like, scratching her head. And then all of a sudden I guess she gets really comfortable because it's like, like all these little poopies on the floor. The koala's making a poop salad on the floor. And so the guy comes and goes, oh, it's all right. It's just a minute. And he picks it up. And he goes, look at it. And he breaks it down and goes, it's just eucalyptus. Look at it. And he's like, why are you touching this koala's poop salad? So they bring out a koala, and then they bring out a wombat, which is a giant little, think of a gerbil, but like 20 times bigger. And he's like this named, Madeline was this one's name, and it's just like, he's right there, this big thing, and so we get to play with that, okay, put that back. And an alligator, we get to mess around with that, and then a kookaburra. You know what that is?
Yeah.
That party stuff. Kookaburra stuff. Like that stuff. It's a bird that's about this big, a long beak, and it makes this really strange noise. So the guy's talking, and he goes, "You want to hear it make noise?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You're the zoo guy." He goes, and it's so funny because it's very bipolar because we're sitting there talking to him, and all of a sudden he'll just break out into the noise. So he'll go, "Yeah, so there I was, and I'll go, oh." That's the noise he makes to get the kookaburra to go. So they'll be like, anyway, what are you doing tonight? You want to go get some? Oh! Making these noises, and then all of a sudden it's like sitting on his arm, and then maybe he gets upset or something because then it goes, like it makes a poop sound. And so I'm like, I'm done with the poop segment. And so as I'm leaving, they have a dingo, a baby dingo. And Rita from Dexter, the blonde Rita, she was holding it. She would not let anyone else hold it. And I'm like, I'm gonna snap your brainstem if I keep holding it. And so she finally gave me the puppy, but she was like literally trying to think of a way to get that animal out of it. And the little girl from the Hunger Games was like, she couldn't even play with it. She's like, can I play it? And she's like, oh. She couldn't even get to this. So you just see this. She's trying to get the dingo. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. And then we went to the after the event, we went to the casino that night, and it was freezing in Australia, by the way. I like had to go. I was like, okay, we're going to buy a jacket. We can't deal with this because I didn't know that it was time winter there. And so we go to the casino, and there's this one table right when you walk in, and there's a ton of people around. Like no people, ton of people. And I'm like looking, and I'm poking in. I'm like, what's going on at this table? Someone like you just assume that someone's like really winning. And there's this little slight blonde woman. Tiny, weird looking woman, and she looks very, very strange. I'm like, who is that? And like, they wouldn't let you get very close. Like, no. It was Lady Gaga.
Oh my God!
She doesn't look like she looks like when she's on TV.
No.
They do her up, because when she's not done up, it's like, how did you like me? It's different. It's different. But maybe I didn't get a good look at her. I mean, it was this close. I don't know. But then I was like, well, I guess I should get a picture of her. And so, because no pictures. Then why did you pick the first table when you first walk into the casino? She could have gotten her own private room, but she's like, they want to be seen. But at the same time, she's like, oh, no, don't look over here. Don't look at it. Okay, well, there's about 1,000 people crowded around this one table. And she's right there. And so I was just like, okay. And so I went back here, and I was like, I got my picture. It's been the concert. There's a lot of craziness and a lot of adventure that happens there. I'm trying to think. Oh, one time I was at a con. I believe it was last year or the year before, maybe. I don't remember. I don't get stabbed with a knife very much, but we went to this restaurant, and it was a small. I forget where it was at. I just remember knife. And so I'm walking out of the restaurant, and there's a gas station over here, and there's a couple fighting at the pump. I mean, we're not talking like, shame on you, you're that. We're talking like, get out of my face! They're shoving each other, and like the woman's like spitting in the man's mouth, and he's like, shoving this and that. And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. So I'm like, okay, here we go. And I'm going over there to deal with it. And I'm like, hey, dude, you need to calm down. Stop it. You quit, this and that. And he goes, what? And then in the back is the my liaison, and like Wendy Powell's with me. You know Wendy Powell?
Yeah.
All of a sudden I hear, Corm, get back here! That was Wendy. And so I turn around to look at Wendy, and I feel right past my neck, and I go, what? And I turn around, it was a knife. He's going, what? And he's slicing it. And I'm like, hey, come on. I'm kidding. He's slicing, and I'm like, oh, we're about to throw down. I mean, he's literally, he's literally this close. He's going, slice, like this close with the knife. And so, I'm like, okay, oh my God, we're about to, and so I'm getting ready, we're about to squab. And so, what happens is my liaison, they grab me and they're like, you get back in the car. I'm like, no, he's got a knife now. And so, I'm like, you call the cops, I'm going to handle this. And then another guy comes, and so he's helping me. And so we're going to take this guy out because he has a freaking knife, and he's going nuts with it. He's like, X slice. And so he starts going after this guy. He's clearly like, he's got some thing going on. Because it's like, I am a stabbing machine. And he starts going after this other guy. And the guy's like, we're buying time so we can call the cops. The cops didn't come. We called them 3 times before they came. Apparently this is not a uncommon occurrence. And so this guy has a knife and he's going around around the parking lot against this guy. And then he goes in the restaurant with the knife.
Oh my word!
And he's starting to slice in the restaurant. And I'm just looking in the diner, and they're like lifting chairs up to try to come after him and stuff. And then he gets out of the restaurant, he saws his knife. Finally, the cops come, and he takes the knife and throws it away.
What?
And so the cops come to get him, and they're like, "Well, do you want to press charges?" And I'm like, "Well, what would that involve?" He goes, "I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to do this anymore." And so they said, "Well, you know, you'd have to come back to here." And I go, "I don't even live in this state." Like, because you'd have to fly back. And I go, "I just don't want him to do it anymore." And he goes, "Don't worry, we'll teach him street justice." I'm like, "What's that?" He goes, we'll go talk to him around the corner. And he wasn't kidding. He was like, "We'll take care of it. He won't do this again." I'm like, "Am I in trouble?" So apparently, like, he's putting his gloves on and he's like, "We'll take care of it." So they put him in the car and they go, "Woo, around the corner." I don't know what happened to him. I saw really good sausage that next day. No, but apparently they dealt with him, and I'm like, "That's not
Normal.
cool. I don't think that's the right way to do that." But I bet you won't pull that knife again. And so there's some dangerous stuff that happens in cons too. I think that's the most dangerous. The other, yeah, that's pretty much it. The other dangerous, I guess, is when I ate oysters and got really sick. A lot of throwing up there. That was the only other dangerous time. A knife fight and oysters. The concert is pretty safe other than that. Do you guys have any questions for me that I can answer? Yes.
When you audition, as I understand it, to see a picture of the character, how do you know which character doesn't match with your voice level?
That's a good question. When we audition, we get a binder that has a picture of the character that we're auditioning for. It's not all of them, but it's the main characters, the men, the women, the name of the character, the description, a paragraph, and just lines. That's all we get. Now, when I directed more, I would pull clips of the characters so you can see them moving and in action. So you can just see how they... In LA, that's very common is you see the characters, but like with Funimation, you don't really see any movement. You don't know what they sound like or what they move like. Okay. So you just kind of look at it, and you, knowing what you know about anime, and then there are archetypes. Like there's the guy that is stupid and has 1,000 girls throw themselves at him, but he's like yucky zoo girls. That guy that I've played a lot. I don't understand why he does that. It's like there are all these beautiful ladies like, "Hey, we want to date you," and he's like, "Oh no, please, no, no, dude." And then there's the guy that doesn't want to be a hero, but he's forced to be the hero, and so then he accepts his fate, and then he becomes awesome and powerful. There's the sidekick who wants to date all the women, but no one would want to date him. And so you know the archetypes. So you can just kind of look at it and be like, "Okay, I bet you he would sound kind of like." And so a lot of times people are like, "Well, Todd, when he voices these characters, or he's voicing another character that runs away from the girls." That's not me choosing that. I'm just auditioning for the show. And it just so happens that that's what the director puts me in that slot, you know? I'm just trying to work.
So you're okay. Yeah.
Yes, Green Lantern.
Well, I can word it better. We're only in my cute little Italy here has like this voicemail she would love for you to read in Italy voice.
Oh, I remember you.
Aww. So cute.
And to me. So, okay. Okay. Ready? Here we go. All right. Hey, Jack, I'm so
And I was just wondering, is that by choice or is that just how you got? Because I'm trying to get ministry, and is it like, can you be picky, or do you have to take?
That really depends. See, there's two schools of thought on that. You can be picky, but it's that you're taking a real risk of not getting chosen very much because directors and casting producers, they take that as a slight against them. That's kind of offensive. They're like, oh, my project's not good enough for but you can be picky. There's when you reach a certain level, you can be picky because they're going to come specifically for you. Like someone like a Keith David, who was Goliath in Gargoyles, and he's the guy in the Covenant in Halo.
Elite?
That voice, he can be picky. But even he's not picky. He says all the time, he goes, I just want to work. Like, as funny as this is, William Shatner, I mean, he can be picky. He's only been in the industry for 50 years. But someone like Dick Van Dyke, who was picky from the beginning, I know that's not anime, obviously, but he only wanted to do family-friendly stuff that his kids could see. And so he chose to do that, and luckily it worked out for him. But it's not always the case. You get people that are like, I'm just going to do this kind of thing, and you never hear of them again. I can think of a couple people that have done that, but I won't say I won't tell you who, but I know a couple people. That would be weird, downer. Yes, I mean, good luck to you. You're a superhero already, so that's good. Let's see, 2 more questions. Yes. Well, I'd be happy to say something in Deb's voice because I really want to do another season. Final, let's see, should I... Okay, out of the hands that have been raised, out of those hands, do you keep up? Just those hands?
Keep.
How many of you have seen Fairy Tale?
I've
No,
seen
that's okay, all right. Out of those hands, how many people have seen volumes 1 through 4? Okay. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. You 4 that have your hands up. No. So Deb and Purple and the glasses and cane horn. It's long? Are you sure it's long? Is it a long question with a long answer?
Long answer.
Okay, no, watch how fast I can.
Do you have any interesting stories about when you were voice acting in Sawyer?
Interesting stories about when I was voice acting in Solar. The first time I got Solar, it was 52 episodes. I was like, it's going to take forever to record. It's going to be awesome. I've got to employ it for over a year, but it didn't happen that way because we were doing something new where we required higher line each time. So we went in there and we knocked it out in 7 months, and I thought it was going to take us a year and a half, but it didn't do that because when I did a show called AM Driver where it was Jenna's Beer and it was Lumiton, it took a year and a half with the same amount of episodes, but we didn't get to do it because they made some poor business decisions and we never got to see that show. When the Soul Leader came about, we did the show, it was great and fantastic, we went to New York to premiere, we got the blessing of the producers of the band, and it was awesome, and I hope we get to do more. Next question.
For a while, are you a part of any unions, and do you recommend that actors join unions?
When I had my company, I was equity, but then it was too expensive to hire myself and pay myself, and I was like, but then I became actor and SAG before the merger. Now they're merged as one, so now it's even cheaper to become a part of it. When it wasn't joined, I had to pay for both memberships. But yes, I am SAG and AFTRA, and I love it. And I would suggest that if you're going to go to New York, you should become equity, and then you join equity, and then you get ahead of everybody that's not equity, and you get in the audition faster, so you only have to wait 4 hours as opposed to 8 hours to get an audition for 30 seconds. Yes?
Are they ever going to try to continue the Gray Man?
I would love that. Yes?
Out of all the characters that you voice, who you can relate to most?
I can... from Sergeant Frog because yeah, home slice.
How did he going out after he met Reed?
If you met Greed again, he would probably be too sleepy because it would be around Thanksgiving and he would be eating all that turkey and then he would be asleep watching football.